today I want to do a book review. I live in the UK and I have a cake decorating school, and when I was learning, I learned mostly from books, so I'm quite passionate about cake decorating books, and I believe I own them all, or just about every cake decorating book. I learned with lots of great books over the years, and I just wanted to tell you a bit about one that I've just discovered now. Last year, but I'll tell you a story first. Last year, today's the 2nd of January, so last year is just 3 days ago. But last year we had 3 guest tutors coming from abroad. 2 of them came from the States and 1 came from Canada to teach. And we had those guest tutors coming to teach because they have very distinct styles, and we just wanted to learn how they do the things that they do. And we and I'm sure if you've watched Cake Food Network Challenge, you would probably be asking yourself the same question: how do they do the things they do? Especially if you're a cake decorator. You're a cake decorator, you're used to cakes and fondant and maybe buttercream or ganache, and you make your cakes round or square or sometimes carved cakes. But once in a while you see those cakes of like animals or things standing up or that kind of thing, and you wonder how do they do them. And I find this book actually answers a lot of the questions, and without talking too much, let me just tell you what the book is. There, Twisted Cakes. Twisted Cakes by Debbie Goard. It came out probably a couple of months ago. The book was released. It's a really nice book. The only thing I don't like about it really is that it is, it's twisted. So the creepy stuff and all that is just not my style personally. But if you can look beyond that, you can find all kinds of wonderful things and all kinds of wonderful tools and techniques that you could use there. For instance, using non-edible items. So when you talk about the things that you bring into cake decorating that are not cake, like the tools that you bring in and even the materials that you bring in, and then also the additional food tools that you use, or food techniques that you use. One of them is using modeling chocolate. Another one is just using all kinds of different things to actually make your cake. Now, I like Debbie Goard's style and I like her approach to work because she tends to help you think outside the box. So a lot of the things that you find that she uses here are not things that you would find in your cake decorating supplies shop. It would rather be things that you would find in a hardware shop or an arts and crafts shop. Her book is also well laid out. She has the obvious things, which would be the recipes and the basic techniques, how to cover a cake, how to coat a cake with icing, and those kind of things. But in addition to that, she also has a load of templates for just about 46 templates for all the styles of the things that she did, and I'll just show you what that looks like. So that's in a pocket. How do I do this now? That's in the pocket at the back of the book, and if you open that, you will see the templates. Can you see that? Okay, so a lot of us are not really used to making templates or working with templates. That's just one of them. That's another, but it's just it's helps you to expand the way that you work, you know, making templates for yourself. Either you draw them or you find them online, or you trace them from a coloring book, or from you know, even a picture of whatever it is that your client tells you that they want a template of. She also talking about additional food items. I mentioned modeling chocolate, but apart from that, she also uses things like wafer paper for making all kinds of things. Apart from that, okay, so here's she shows the essential tools. Then there's other things like using a blowtorch, airbrush, using the airbrush. So it gives you a very wide range of tools that you could bring to your cake decorating. And the style of what she does, even though, like I said, I don't really like the idea of making a chocolate cake with maggots coming out of it, or a dead rat or something, or even the crown which is on the surface of that. But a lot of you get a lot of all kinds of tips, so many, using the copper tubing, using your modeling chocolate to create some form on your cake before you even cover with your sugar paste or your fondant, using your airbrush, using things like wire brushing, how to create a center pole, how to use your drill, your plywood, things like that to build a center pole on your cake. And I cannot recommend this book enough. It is really good. She has some nice recipes in it as well. I also mentioned, I didn't mention using gelatin as well. For instance, you're making a butterfly's wings, you could use gelatin, and she tells you how to do that. You know, how to stack your layers for very tall cakes. You know, how to build your supports for like a standing animal, that kind of thing. How to, work with modeling chocolate, how to make food look like it's, cake look like it's food. And I like the way also each cake project, she tells you what the skills you're going to use are. So it's not just the stuff you need or the food that you need, but also the skills that you need. So for instance, this okay, let me look for one. Okay, so there's one, a mouse in a trap. And she says the stuff that you need to know would be how to use a template, apply paint and pearl dust, ice a cake, roll out fondant, cover a cake, airbrushing, building details, and making a piping bag. So all those skills are outlined in the book, and then each project that you do would use all these skills. So even though, I'm not really, I doubt that I'm about to do, one of the twisted versions. But for instance, look at that one. That's a lovely one. That's a heart, like a real heart with wings. So you learn how to make feathers, which you could use for other cakes, like peacock or lovebirds and that kind of thing. And even the heart itself, and even the banner, all those kind of things can be transferred to other cakes. So I'm happy to review this book, and I'm happy to actually give it a rating of 5 stars. And hopefully we will see more from Debbie, and we wish her all the best. And I would say just go ahead and buy the book. It wasn't very expensive. I got it from the book depository.co.uk, but you can also get it on Amazon, and I think it's about £10-12, not very expensive, and it's worth having if you've actually gone far, or you're really on your way in your cake decorating and you want to try out new techniques, or you've always wondered how do they do this or how do they do that, this would be a very good book for you to get and have a good look through. And I'm going to just conclude this by saying that when I started, I learned from books. Peggy Portion books was a very good introduction. Lindy Smith also has very good books. She's very generous with her sharing her techniques, and but I found that the books I started with are all beat up and battered because I use them regularly, and the books that I have, the newer ones, tend to be nice and shiny and new. And this is something I tell myself, so I'm telling you as well, that really it's not enough to just look at the book or look online and say, oh, that's how they do this, but you really have to put things into practice. And I'm going to take my own medicine, and I want to advise you to do the same thing as well. Not just buying the book and putting it in your library, but actually go ahead, do a cake project, and that's where I'll stop for now. You have a wonderful day, have a wonderful new year, and hope to see you soon. Bye.